Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about the North Node in the 5th house in a natal horoscope. Well, as most of you know, the North Node is connected with our soul's mission, purpose. As you can say, maybe this time around, the South Node is what I refer to as kind of that redundant house, as something where maybe was overemphasized in the first half of our lives, perhaps up to age 30. And then beyond that, the North Node is something which we may, whether we're cognizant of it or not, may emphasize and accentuate during the second part of our lives. Now, look at the North Node in the 5th house. And in the second half of our lives, for people that have this placement, this could be something that the person may emphasize, perhaps their children more, maybe their own childlike, whimsical, capricious qualities, things that are of amusement, enjoyment to this person, their creative endeavors. Having the South Node in the 11th could indicate that perhaps this person felt compelled to just to join organizations or groups, just to be part of some social sphere, just for the sake of doing it, and that the people that they were involved with, their friends, may not really had their best intentions in terms of their own aspirations and goals, and the person may have gotten involved in groups that might have been to their detriment to some degree, and these people that they were involved with maybe didn't have their own their interests at heart. The intentions for this person may have been good during perhaps the first part of the person's life. A lot of energy may have been expended into doing things selflessly, which there's nothing wrong with, of course, humanitarian efforts, but they might have not really been the kind of selfless acts or the humanitarian things that was truly making this person happy, where the North Node in the 5th house can be the indicator where if this person finds their right creative outlet and gives them some joy and amusement, they could connect themselves with the right friends and the right groups that are associated with their creative interests, and therefore consequently be much more happier with themselves in the process. Perhaps the first part of the life, maybe there might not have been as much of an emphasis on their children, or maybe they avoided having for some reason. Perhaps there was a detachment or something connected with this person, and might have played a role in them maybe not having children right away, or maybe this person may have had children, but yet there was something lacking, and they didn't really have maybe the connection with them or the compatibility to some degree as he or she would have liked. Whereas having more emphasis on either having children, or if the person already has children, to might bring out their own childlike, whimsical quality in themselves as well, and really be a means for them to truly be happy. And if we look at this placement, the 11th house where the South Node would reside in is connected with social reform as well, and it's like perhaps this person had some interest in this as well, social reform or social advocacy, during the first half of their life. But and even if they felt it was somewhat fulfilling and having an interest in this, it might have not really been something that was really making this person really happy, or is finding their actual mission or purpose in life. And the 5th house, the North Node in the 5th house, indicates where through their own creativity, whether it be artwork or something else, is where they will be more likely to find their happiness and in their enjoyment. The 5th house, as we know, is connected with speculation and gambling. So on that end, I would say that the person might, well, I'm not, might like to take, maybe do go to Vegas and do a small, put a few bucks in something in Vegas every now and then or something, but not, but don't do anything obviously where you become like a compulsive gambler, because on the negative side of things, I think there, with the North Node in the fifth house, there might be a strong emphasis to try to be more risk-taking the second time around, and just don't risk too much. Don't do anything that might really be to your detriment monetarily, is what I'm saying. Anyway, people, and don't, before I go, another thing too is, even if it's something like bungee cord jumping or something, where or jumping out of a helicopter with a parachute, of course, just be very careful with whatever you do, because in the second half of the person's life, this person may feel compelled to be a little bit more of kind of, be more audacious and do things that are not just enjoyable, but might have an element of risk involved. So just exercise caution, proceed with caution on these matters. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for the North Node in the 5th house in a natal horoscope. Stay tuned next time, where I'll be dissertating and talking about the North Node in the 6th house in a natal chart. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis on a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because a person astrologically is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.